Who gets more credit, the Raptors or Kawhi? And speaking of Kawhi, guys, it's hard to remember this. He won his first title in San Antonio, Key, at the age of 22 when he was the Finals MVP. Now the Finals MVP with the Raptors, could do it again with the Clippers. Legler says if he does it, 3 teams, 3 titles, 3 MVPs, he would cement himself as an all-time great. It seems hard to argue.
No, that is. But even to me, if he didn't do that, the fact that he did it twice is enough for me.
He's still got plenty of time. He's in the prime of his career.
Plenty of time, and then when you look at his position in a guy who's a 3-and-D guy on both sides of the floor, defensively, obviously, you could argue if you want, but we know what that is. And then offensively, he could take the game into his own hands in a heartbeat. And I think you know this, Jay, it's very hard to defend Kawhi. He has come a long ways from an offensive standpoint from when he first got into this league with San Antonio. All of a sudden, he looks like a totally different offensive basketball player.
You know what the headline would be if Kawhi Leonard wins his 3rd championship on his 3rd different team and his 3rd Finals MVP?
Which, by the way, nobody's ever done.
He's entering the GOAT conversation. Inject his name in the GOAT conversation.
You're going there.
Yes. Yes. I mean, last year, he averaged 30 points per game, 9.5 rebounds, and 4 assists, shot 49% from the field, had 2 40-point games, took a team that was on the outskirts of the NBA to winning a championship in 1 year, and then goes to a different team and then says, hey, Steve Ballmer, hey, Doc Rivers, let's find somebody that I can partner up with. Oh, hey, PG-13, you want to come on board? Come over here. And if they win it again at that age and he still has more runway left to go, you can only imagine his team is only going to get better. They'll still be in the West. LeBron is getting older. He's gonna enter that conversation.
Well, I don't like all of everything that he said, but I do like the fact that he said he is entering that GOAT territory. And the reason that people probably would go, oh man, please, is because of Kawhi's low demeanor personality.
Right.
He's not that guy who's out front. If you think about all the guys in our history that are considered the GOATs, whether it's a Magic or LeBron or Kobe or Michael, their personalities were so big that they got a plus for that as well as their play on the court.
For anybody that wants to use the load management argument, how do we evaluate greatness in this society?
Man, it's not like he's missing 50% of the games.
No, but how do we evaluate greatness? When we talk about Tom Brady, we talk about how many Super Bowls he won.
Yeah, championships.
Talk about Michael Jordan, how many championships he won. So now you're telling me 3 championships? LeBron James has 3 championships. But so if Kawhi gets 3 championships on 3 different teams and 3 Finals MVP before LeBron James does, that's going to be interesting.
Well, I think even if he did
4. LeBron's going for 4. Sorry.
Even if he did it at the same time or whatever the case, you know how hard it is to get 1.
Right.
But to take 3 different teams on your back and finish the deal in 3 different locations, I mean, that's obviously we've never seen something like that, right?
And also the narrative that he's a super team stopper. Like, who did they beat when he was playing the Spurs? It was a super team, right? Miami, right?
Right, 2014.
Who did they beat when he won it the next time? Like Golden State.
2019.
So I'm saying, like, if you follow the lineage and the narrative.
I mean, if you get to this year, and it would be the Lakers probably to get to the championship.
That's right. Keyshawn Johnson, Williams and Zubin Mehenti here on ESPN Radio, ESPN app. I want to ask you this because you spent so much time growing up in Southern California, worked at our AM 710 affiliate out there. Sometimes the story is what makes it. Jay sort of mentioned the Raptors were on the fringes, the hinterlands of the NBA.
DeMar DeRozan.
Nobody wants to get traded to Toronto, right? They don't want to go there. Pop said, I'm sending you there. You don't like our medical staff. Fine. This is where I'm banishing you to Toronto, and it worked out for him. On the flip side, an even better story than the Raptors, which is a great story. This is the 50th season of Clippers basketball. The first 49 have not gone great, okay? They've never They've never been to the Western Conference Finals.
There you go.
Obviously, they've never been to the NBA Finals. So now he takes a team like this with a pathetic history who's known more for Clipper Darrell than any of the actual Clippers.
Donald Sterling,
yep. All that stuff. You tell me, would this be the greatest story to author of all? Because he would take one of the most lousy, embarrassing franchises in the history of the NBA to a championship.
Absolutely. It will be right up there with the LeBron James Cleveland Cavs story.
Wow, you're putting it up there.
It'll be right because LeBron left and Kate left with the owner being the way he was and basically slapped the owner in the face by coming back. and winning a championship and saying, see all that you said and talked about me, look what I've done for you.
Dan Gilbert.
Now when you look at Kawhi, they courted Kawhi, then they courted PG to come and helping Paul George. And at the end of the day, they said to themselves, okay, we got a guy here. They're going to build a new arena in Inglewood, California. He's from the Southern California area. So you package all that up. He's coming home to win a championship. He wins a championship at home. Like you said, 50 years, that organization was a dumpster fire. You went to in free agency, you basically would go to the Clippers to just pick up a check or two and go on about your business. So when you look at all of those sort of things that have gone on with that organization, and Doc Rivers now comes in along with PG and along with Kawhi and deliver the goods in L.A., mind you. Now, L.A. is still it's a Laker town. No matter what the Clippers do in terms of one championship, the history is already embedded in the Lakers. That's what it is. There's too many championships, the whole thing.
The DNA
is SoCal is L.A., but they get a sliver, and he gets a statue, in front of the new arena, where you think about it, and it was always this joke about whether or not Chris Paul deserves a statue at Staples Center. Well, if you know Staples Center in the front of it, that's where all the big statues are.
Right.
We would be like, they got to put it on the convention center side, on the back side, where the fans really don't go. Well, in this case, Kawhi his statue goes right in front as a player and not a retired player in front of the new arena. And that may be the first guy in the history of the NBA that would have a statue as he's still playing, right?
Currently,
yeah.
And here's the thing. Who does Kawhi mirror his game after? Michael Jordan. When you watch a lot of his moves and a lot of his shots, the two-point shots, the fadeaways on the baseline.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.